Johnson leads Kyle Busch, Brian Vickers, Jamie McMurray, and Jeff Burton, the pole sitter, has worked his way up to the 5th spot. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 6th.
Okay, we'll see another feeding frenzy on pit road, I'm sure.
Marty, you go first.
Well, Jamie McMurray is in 4th, and he told his crew chief, Jimmy Finning, this car is loose, but it's fast like this. I want to leave it alone. Let's put 4 tires on it, make no chassis changes. Finning said, okay, we'll do this for 1 run, but we may change it later. Dave?
Earlier, Kyle Busch had been saying right there in the middle of the 5 car that you've gotten me looser, but I need more, need more. This time, no changes scheduled. I think they found it, Alan.
Jimmy Johnson, top left of the frame in the 48 car. Watch for a wrench to go in the left rear window, make an adjustment. They'll change 4 tires and send him out.
Dale Jr. said to keep going in the same direction we've done the last few stops as Mark Martin already goes by completing his service. He's still tight, but getting better. AB.
A 4-tire change for Tony Stewart in the 20 car, not looking for any adjustments there, trying to get him up a little farther with some pit stop work, but it doesn't look like it worked out that well this time.
Oh, he takes a jack.
Yeah, he took some equipment with him.
Looked like Tony was a little bit too close to the wall. Oh, did Jeff Chandler get banged with that jack? Looks like maybe he did.
Chandler on the right, putting his hands on his hips. Under caution here at Daytona. It has been an interesting day for Tony Stewart. Still under caution. Let's go inside the NBC pit window.
We see Tony Stewart, the 20 car. Here's the side of the car. Here's the pit wall. That looks to be only about 3 or 4 feet. The jack handle is 6 feet long. So Jason Lee, the jack man, has to have the jack on an angle. So when he lets the car down, he can't drag the jack out from under it. So Tony leaves and drives over the jack with the left rear as he leaves the pits.
And NASCAR is going to penalize Tony Stewart for running over equipment in your pit stall. He's come in to serve that penalty, and that will put him at the rear of the field.
And Jeff Chandler, I don't think was hit by the jack. I think he was ducking because he thought the jack was going to come back at him.
It did. After he ran over the jack and shot the jack back into the pit of the 20 car.
Stewart came in to get his tires checked by his crew in the side of that car to make sure it was all right. We'll have to start at the tail end of the longest line for running over equipment. Remember that singular wireless poll we were talking about earlier, Wally?
That I couldn't vote?
Yes.
About an hour ago?
No.
Here's the payoff.
Wow,
it's a tie.
Dead even. Wow. I think they'll all benefit, actually. One way or another.
Alan, you following up on the 24s?
Just a neat thing about Jeff Chandler, who we were talking about a second ago. Jeff is a longtime veteran of the NEXTEL Cup circuit. He actually retired from the over-the-wall crew a couple of years ago. But because Tony Stewart's regular front tire changer, Ira Joe Hussey, had rotator cuff surgery in the off-season, Jeff was called back from the retired inactive list and is changing tires, trying to help his driver win the Daytona 500. And that put him in that spot.
And Alan, he's half the man he used to be, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll tell him you said that.
He lost 52 pounds, BP.
Yeah.
He told me that.
Said he was having fun going back over the wall.
I'm impressed with folks that can lose weight.
No kidding, you and me both.
All right, here we go.
Glad you said it.
I had to do it before you got in there. Corvette pace car to pit road. Mark Martin with a 2-tire stop leads. And I'm really surprised that Mark and Pat Trice and his crew chief decided to take 2 as well as that car seemed to be handling. And he was running in that lead pack. See how it works out for him. Marty, what do you think?
Well, I asked Pat Trice, why'd you take 2 tires? Because Bill Weber disagrees with you. I'm kidding. I didn't say that. I said, why'd you take 2 tires? And he said, well, a couple of reasons. Number 1, we only had 12 green flag laps on our other set of tires. Number 2, we needed track position. Mark just does not like this car back in traffic. So some cars are better when they're up front in clean air. That's what Mark wants, and that's what he's got.
That's what all drivers say, Marty. My car's a lot better out front.
Might not be there for long. Jimmy Johnson will challenge for the lead.
He can challenge, but I don't know if he'll be able to pull it off or not.
Because Martin has the 8 car of Junior, the 26, of McMurray, and Vickers, the 25. The line is on the inside, not the outside.
And that 26 of McMurray, that is a strong race car.
Tell you what, I've been saying that all day. That guy's got a good race car underneath him. He's been working all day to try to get in position. Marty, he's in position now.
He's in a great spot, Wally. He likes that bottom line now. Remember we told you earlier he liked that top line? He came on the radio about 40 laps ago and said, guys, this top line is not moving. Let's work the bottom. The car's a little bit loose like you would want it here, and he's very happy with it right now. Dave?
25 car of Brian Vickers. I spoke with him this morning. He told me, you know what? I like working with all my teammates, the 5, the 24, everybody that's in the race, and he's been working very well with Kyle Busch. Needs to get back with him right now as Vickers has a car that he thinks can win the Daytona 500.
Right about now, a lot of guys think they have a car that can win the Daytona 500.
Yeah, all those guys in the picture for sure.
Alan?
Well, Jimmy Johnson, first of all, glad to have his Hendrick Motorsports team up behind him. Normally Johnson drafts with Jeff Gordon in these restrictor plate races. We've documented the problems Gordon has been having today. He's not there for his teammate Jimmy, so maybe Kyle Busch will be the guy that pushes that 48 back to the front.
Just to update, Gordon 21st last time, 27th after the penalty.
Don't forget their other teammate is in 4th place, and that 25 car is Brian Vickers.
Dave, about the 5.
And Kyle Busch reported to his team, hey, tell the 48 I'm on his tail, and maybe the 25 will come and play as well. All teammates trying to link up and go to the front.
All drives are Rick Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports. And again, we will point out that Jimmy Johnson's regular crew chief, Chad Canals, is not here today. Ejected from the racetrack earlier this week after the car failed post-qualifying inspection.
I think at that outside line got a good run, Benny, and the 25 saw the 48 coming. He jumped out in front of the 48 to try to get pushed to the front, but they just can't quite get there.
And we see he's losing spots. The 31 of Jeff Burton has been able to get by Jimmy Johnson. Here comes Kurt Busch in the 2 car.
That outside line will not do it for you.
I see the 12 car behind the 2, his teammate of Kurt Busch, and he has been at the back of the pack for the last 100 miles or so. Looks like they might have some problems ironed out on that 12 car.
Or he might have just been hanging out for a while.
Could be. Sometimes some drivers will do that.
There's the 12 of Ryan Newman, the Miller Lite ride of Kurt Busch, replacing longtime veteran Rusty Wallace in that 2 car. Wallace retired following last season.
Yeah, you'll get in a situation as a driver where things will start getting really crazy, 3 wide, cars sliding over the racetrack. You may just back off the throttle and let these guys, if you think a wreck is coming, just back off, get to the back a little bit, and let it settle down before you can work your way up. One great thing about restricted plate racing, if you hang on to that draft, even if it's in the back, you can work your way back up to the front.
And we've seen that happen today.
Jimmy Johnson, that 48 car, is making his way back towards the front. And Vickers, that just like you said, he jumped out to the outside to try to help the 48 get to the front. So 3 Hendrick cars, 25, 48, 5, all together on the outside line, trying to get back to the front.
For the 20 of Tony Stewart and the 29 of Kevin Harvick. Alan, what are you working on?
Kevin Harvick, a little report there, Bill. Remember, he was up front in the top 5 a couple of pit stops ago, and he's kind of disappeared from the radar. They had to stop under the caution at lap 102 and change the carburetor on the engine on that machine. Long pit stop to do that. Harvick back in 28th place, trying to work his way toward the front.
But he's still got time to do that, Wally.
Oh, yeah, they've got plenty of time to do that. They can still see that front pack, so still got a chance.
Fast cars back there.
And we can see Jimmy Johnson still hooked up with his teammates, trying to get by. There's a lap car of Jeff Green on the bottom. That's why those guys are moving up.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's actually going to help that bottom line a little bit, or the top line, because the bottom line had to move up a little because of that slower car. So now the 25 of Vickers.
And Junior, the 8 car, moved up to try to help those, looked like to help those Chevrolets a little bit.
Whoa, little twitch there on the 8 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Matt?
Bill, they have done a lot of work on Biffle's Ford. 3 stops ago, they pitted several times into that caution just to try to seal up where the fender meets the rocker panel, trying to seal up the aerodynamics on that right side. They took 2 tires, got some track position. now they are in a good spot on the racetrack.
That's a 16 of Greg Biffle, runs fourth in that inside line. Mark Martin continues to lead. Mark Martin told the media driving that 6 car earlier this week, if he won the Daytona 500, he might not even go to the next race.